Someone with power, money, and influence, yet so cold that people avoided even making eye contact? This story is about a woman exactly like that. A billionaire so feared that restaurants whispered her name like a warning. But what no one knew was that one simple act of kindness from a stranger, a single dad, would break through her walls in a way money never could. Before we begin, welcome to your channel name. If you enjoy heart-touching stories that inspire kindness and restore faith in humanity, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps this channel grow and allows us to bring more stories that warm the heart. It was a rainy Thursday evening at the Maple River Bistro, a cozy family-owned restaurant in a small American town. Soft music, warm lighting, and the smell of fresh pasta filled the air. Families ate, couples chatted, and friends laughed over dinner. But there was one table no one wanted to approach. At the far end near the window sat Victoria Hale, a 47-year-old billionaire businesswoman known across the state. Sharp suit, diamond watch, and a presence so icy that plates seemed to freeze when placed in front of her. She wasn't just rich, she was powerful, feared, and notoriously rude. Rumor had it she had reduced waiters to tears, demanded managers fire staff on the spot, and once had an entire kitchen staff replaced because the soup wasn't hot enough. So when she walked into the Maple River Bistro without a reservation, the atmosphere changed instantly. Conversations hushed. Staff exchanged nervous looks. The manager, Mr. Jacobs, swallowed hard and personally seated her at the best table, then rushed back to the kitchen like a soldier retreating from battle. No one wanted to serve her. Not after what happened last time. At another table, not too far away, sat Daniel Carter, a 33-year-old single dad with his 8-year-old daughter, Lily. Daniel had just finished his shift at a local auto shop. Grease still clung under his fingernails, and his shirt held faint traces of oil, but his eyes were warm. He'd promised Lily a fancy dinner, something they rarely did. Money was tight, but tonight was special. Lily had won her school's kindness award. Daniel smiled proudly as Lily bounced her heels under the table. "Daddy, do you think they'll have strawberry cheesecake?" "If they don't," he laughed, "we'll make our own." Their joy was simple, but sincere. Across the room, 3 waiters huddled like football players planning a defense move. "You go." "No way," she yelled at me last month because her spoon was shiny on the wrong side. "Manager should do it. He said he's busy handling an emergency in the supply room, meaning he's hiding." No one dared to go near Victoria. That's when Daniel overheard them whispering. He didn't know who the woman was, but he saw something that troubled him: fear. Staff so anxious that they were trembling about doing their job. He looked over at the lonely woman by the window. She sat with her arms crossed, jaw clenched, foot tapping impatiently. But he also noticed something others missed. She looked tired. Not physically, emotionally. Her eyes were puffy, as if she hadn't slept or had been crying recently. Lily tugged his sleeve. "Daddy, why is that lady sitting alone?" Daniel replied gently, "Maybe she just needs someone to be kind to her today." Minutes passed. No waiter approached her table. Glasses clinked, plates moved, and everyone avoided eye contact as if Victoria was invisible but radioactive. Finally, she snapped. She stood up and raised her voice. "Is this what you call service? I've been sitting here 14 minutes. Not a single glass of water. Not even a hello." Heads lowered. A busboy almost dropped forks in fear. The restaurant fell silent. Daniel felt a knot in his chest. He believed in teaching his daughter courage and kindness, not the kind that is convenient, but the kind that matters. He whispered to Lily, "I'll be right back." He stood, walked over, and stopped at Victoria's table. Staff watched with widened eyes as if he was walking straight into a lion's cage. He smiled politely. "Hi, ma'am. I'm not a waiter here, but I couldn't help noticing you haven't been served. Would you like some company while someone gets your order?" Her jaw tightened. "Who are you? And why would I need company?" Daniel kept his tone calm and kind. "You look like you've had a long day. No one deserves to sit alone feeling ignored." The room froze. No one ever spoke to her with that kind of gentle courage. Victoria looked him up and down, judging his inexpensive clothes, the oil stains, the old wristwatch. "You don't know who I am, do you?" she asked, almost amused. Daniel shook his head. "No. Should I?" It was the first time someone hadn't reacted with fear or awe. Something flickered in her expression, confusion. He added, "I'm Daniel. My daughter and I are having dinner over there. You're welcome to join us, if you'd like." The staff gasped. One waiter mouthed, "He's insane." Victoria's sharp reply was ready on her tongue, but it didn't come out. Instead, she exhaled long and shaky. She sat back down. "No. But thank you," she murmured. He nodded kindly. "I'll ask someone to take your order now." He approached the waiters and simply said, "I'll handle her table. You guys can relax." They stared at him like he was volunteering to wrestle a grizzly bear. Daniel returned with a jug of water and a glass. He placed them gently on the table. Victoria eyed the water. "They should be doing this, not you." "Maybe," he said softly, "but sometimes kindness isn't about whose job it is. It's about who chooses to do it." For the first time in a long time, Victoria was speechless. He took her order with the same patience he would give anyone else. No special treatment. No fear. Just respect. She ordered salmon with lemon butter sauce but added, "If it's overcooked even a little, I'm sending it back." Daniel chuckled lightly. "Fair enough. I'll let them know how you like it." When he walked away, Victoria watched him, puzzled, and oddly moved. Back at his table, Lily whispered, "Daddy, was that kindness?" He smiled and squeezed her hand. "Yes, sweetheart. Real kindness is standing firm even when it's uncomfortable." The food came out perfectly, but not because Victoria scared anyone. The kitchen put extra care into it because Daniel had asked kindly, and the staff wanted to support him. When Daniel served her plate, Victoria asked, in a quieter voice than before, "Why did you do that? You don't even know me." Daniel sat for a moment across from her. Everyone deserves kindness. Especially the people who don't receive it often. Her eyes softened, the armor cracking just a bit. "People avoid me because I have high standards," she said defensively. Daniel looked gently at her. "Or maybe because they're afraid of being hurt." His words hit her harder than she expected. After dinner, as Daniel went to pay his bill, the cashier whispered, "Sir, your check has been taken care of." Confused, he asked, "By who?" The cashier pointed to Victoria, who was putting on her coat. Daniel approached her. "Thank you. You didn't have to do that." Victoria responded with a soft, vulnerable tone no one had heard from her in years. "You're the first person in a long time who spoke to me like a human being. Not a headline. Not a monster. Just a person." Daniel nodded. Sometimes the ones who seem the toughest are the ones who need kindness the most. She swallowed hard, fighting tears. "My husband passed away last year. Since then, I haven't known how to be anything but angry." Daniel didn't try to fix her grief, didn't give advice. He just said, "I'm sorry." Truly. It was the first sincere sympathy she had received in months. Before leaving, she turned to Lily, knelt, and said gently, "Your dad is a good man. You're lucky." Lily smiled. "I know." Victoria hugged her, awkward, but real. Then she looked at Daniel. "Thank you." She walked out not as the ice queen everyone feared, but as a person touched by kindness. In the weeks that followed, Victoria returned to the restaurant. But this time, she greeted the staff by name. She tipped generously. She apologized to those she had hurt in the past. Word spread, not about the billionaire's power, but about her change. One evening, she approached Daniel again. This time with a business proposal. She wanted to fund a community program teaching kids kindness, emotional resilience, and empathy, named Lily's Kindness Club. Daniel's eyes filled with tears. "Why name it after my daughter? Because she learned kindness from